Welcome back to War Thunder and welcome to a commentary on the Leopard 1 in the first few minutes of the gameplay, and afterwards on the Focke-Wulf A-8. And it's the Focke-Wulf A-8 and a few things around it that I want to really focus on. So why do I play the Leopard in the first place? I have finished a lot of the respading at lower tiers. Rank 1 to rank 4 are practically done, and I wanted to look at German teams at 8.0, 8.3. The Leopard is one of the tanks that I have to respade. Certain other tanks that I still have to spade I will probably do in the next patch, because then I get also the bonus RP for finishing a line of certain tier upgrades, which is quite significant for tier 5 tanks. Up to 30,000 RP, that's quite something. So I wanted to first talk here about my approach. I went to the left side, to the very left side, tried to flank the enemy, tried to catch certain enemy tanks off guard, destroy them and effectively take them out in the very beginning. There is a lot of discussion going on about research points and spawn points and credit income. One of the factors that I want to focus here is the spawn points. If somebody gets himself into a medium tank and he gets destroyed without having achieved anything, he just can probably respawn in a AAA, or many people just don't bother to get in a AAA in the first place, which is fair enough. I can understand it, but effectively they are not profiting their team. Situational awareness is also another thing that I want to point out. It is very important, which this T62 didn't have. He did directly go for the cap, he was too slow, that's it. This M103 saw me and I just go back into cover, mark him for the team, and then I want to go after him. However, I didn't spot to my left, so I didn't see the T95 E1, and just as I was just about to deal with the M103, I get taken out by this guy. So that was bad gameplay by me. Now I don't have enough spawn points to get into the CL-13A with the rockets, or I also don't trust the ME-410 B6R3 with the 30mm, and I get into the Focke-Wulf A-8 with 4 20mm cannons and also 2 13mm machine guns in the nose, and in this configuration the Werfegranaten. Werfegranate 21 with a diameter of 21 centimeters. You have just one launch, but that's a pretty brutal launch, to be honest, and most of the things that you hit tend to die. More or less reliable. I tried to get my revenge on this T95E1 to also prevent him for getting into an aircraft anytime soon, and to probably prevent the decapturing of A. So far, so good. Now, let's talk about the upcoming changes to rockets with patch 1.71. Again, I have to recall it here. In particular, the HVR rockets for the Americans and the RP3s for the British were undeniably overperforming. They have around about a caliber of 127mm as far as I can tell. The RP3 may be 152 if I remember correctly, and they will perform as 152mm tank HE shells. Now, the penetrations for tank HE shells in this caliber region, 150, 152mm, ranges between 37mm for the M657A2 shell, which we can see on the M60A2 Starship, but also up to 60mm on the German Sturmpanzer II. The KV2, for example, has 54 and the Horo 55mm of penetration for their respective HE shells. So you then have to get into the mindset to hit a tank on a portion of the armor where a KV2 probably can penetrate. And that is then the question: how will bigger rockets perform, such as the Werfegranaten, such as the Tiny Tims? They have a bigger caliber, therefore I guess they have much more high explosive filling, resulting in much more penetration. We will see how it turns out. But the thing is, so far you can just get one launch off, which is pretty sure, but there are a lot of very good players on allied teams, especially American and British, that have perfection to work with their rockets, and they have up to 8 launches. The Skyraider stock has 6 launches. So that's quite something. And as you can see here, this is now my counter. This is now an F-86 F2, And as you could see, for a split second, he had the full rocket load. He killed one tank and I killed him for that. I'm not quite sure if he got from that one kill enough spawn points to pay for his plane and to still get in a good plane afterwards. So I see another plane here, which is a P-80, I guess. I try to snipe him, but he is too fast and I can't catch up with his maneuverability. Of course, the maneuverability for German planes at low altitude, at low speeds, with a lot of maneuvering is, you know, I've mentioned it often enough that I don't trust those planes too much, but in this battle there was a key aspect that I will come to in a moment. So you can see AAA, the Kugelblitz was killed by the P-80. You might say, oh my god, such a bad Kugelblitz play. Up until the point that you play the Kugelblitz. Low rate of fire, which is surprising, but yes, it's a low rate of fire compared to other AAAs. Then the very slow turret traversion speed, and your armor is not worth anything against HVRs up until this point in time, in patch 1.69. So the one thing that I really saw in this battle was that the enemies were not aware of me, and so I could get easy shots at planes. In a normal RB air match I would be dead a few times by now. If there is a Spitfire that notices me, I'm done. There is not much that I can do. I probably could try to fly near my AAA and hope for some amazing marksmanship of one of the players on my team. Probably smoke helps. And this is a key aspect. I see here an Arado and the P-47 tries to turn around. And you can see the P-47 is not that clumsy when it doesn't have anything loaded like rockets and bombs. But now he went into a straight line. Easy lead. Easy kill, and a turn away onto my side of the map. And so far this looks like easy mode. Yes, it looks like easy mode because it was easy, because the enemies didn't pay attention. There is no AAA challenging me, giving me away my position. I was not hit so far even once, so I have no smoke trail marking my position easier. And all this comes together in maybe 1 per 10 games, if at all. Then let's talk about the bad side of playing airplanes in Tank RB for yourself. You can get a high win ratio if you can help your team out a lot, like for me, for example, killing here all those planes. However, by the way, just for this scene, I turn away, observe where the P-80 is going, because I think he will turn then back on me because he's observing me. And now I've lurked him into the head-on. He thinks he has an easy time avoiding me, but I knew where he was going. And that was my 5th air kill in this plane. And this is something very good about the Focke-Wulf. Amazing firepower, spread out through the entirety of the wings, so it does not really matter too much where convergence is. You have a lot of shell density, you have mine shells that when they work are really devastating, and you have a lot of ammunition. And you still can spot, theoretically, a lot of tanks on the ground with the machine guns. So this P-51 spotted me. I think it's the D5 premium variant according to the green nose, I'm not quite sure. And he dropped his bombs prematurely to avoid me. I see where he's going, easy lead, rolling into him, short burst, thank you very much. 6th kill and 1 tank. This plane's spawn points really paid off. But the battle is now more or less over, and that's bringing me back to the bad side. I want to spade my Leopard. This plane is already spaded, and you can see it here. I have fully upgraded guns with belts, with stealth belts, and very accurate guns. Therefore, my flight performance is at max, and I have the Werfergranaten. The grind on this thing is done, yet I still use it to win the battle, which is a necessity, as I just explained, because AAA doesn't work. And yeah, for the Leopard, the income was not that great. So it's kind of a waste of a time. But putting that aside, I got now the winter camouflage for the Leopard 1, a lot of awards, 142,000 silver lions. This is a good thing about planes in Tank RB, that you can enhance your profit or minimize your loss, and nearly 6,000 research points, which is quite nice, but for the Leopard itself, it was not all that much, to be honest. I think it was just around about 1100 research points. And you know, when you then still win the battle, but you have no impact, and you still have to waste a lot of time in the plane to get that, I'm not quite sure if this is so good for the progress. But that's a problem for myself, because most of my planes are upgraded in RRB. Nevertheless, this is now it for today. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you give this video a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and furthermore, let me know in the comment section if you think this is repeatable for every nation at any tier, if this was a lucky match, was my approach towards the gameplay right, what do you think about the spawn point mechanics, was I right with my discussion about it, what do you think about the Focke-Wulfs in RRB and in Tank RB, and are there better German options? What do you think about the difficulties of bomb cast versus rocket cast, or cannon cast versus rocket cast? Let me know in the comment section. That's it for me today, so we'll see each other on the battlefields and in the skies of War Thunder.